Welcome back to Cal Park Bros. Jason and I were just discussing the whistleblower from the Facebook app discussion that appeared on 60 Minutes. I feel like we're going to be talking about that more in the future, especially in the light of the fact that Facebook was down for like a good 8 hours yesterday. I was like, that's a interesting ass timing you got there, Mark.
Yeah, the fact I didn't even realize it until I was like, "Okay, Facebook's not working," and then somebody said Instagram's not working, and I went to online and they said it was on CNN that Facebook and everything was down. I'm like, "Oh, apparently it's a big deal." CNN's talking about it, so there you go.
Yep, big deal. CNN's talking about it. We actually had to tweet and complain about Facebook and Instagram. That's like a
Right.
rite of passage when you get on one social media application and you complain about this other application that you don't like. That's like social media inception. It's great.
Told you that's hey, that's society and culture that we're in right now.
Yep. In this segment, we're going to be talking about some announcements about the Super Bowl halftime show. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Blige, Lamar to perform in Super Bowl per Jonathan Landrum at apnews.com. They will be performing for the first time on stage together at the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show 2022. NFL, Pepsi, and Rock Nation announced on Thursday that five music icons will perform on February 13th at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. This is relevant, of course, because Dre, Snoop, and Lamar are Southern California natives. Dre, of course, his resume precedes itself. Started off in NWA, along Eazy-E and Ice Cube, and made a major mark in hip hop culture on his own as a producer. Dre also produced Mary J. Blige's #1 hit song "Family Affair." This halftime show gonna be black as hell, dude.
Hang on, Eminem's in it too. Let's not forget. But yeah, that was my yeah, that was my that was my first thought was I'm a big Eminem fan. And so that's my first thought of to see him gonna be in the halftime show. I'm like, I was pretty hyped up about that. So with five of them being there, I'm not sure the breakdown. I'm sure they'll be doing like bits of their songs, whatnot. But I agree with you. It's gonna be the name statement is called SoFi because this performance is gonna be SoFi.
Oh my god,
But
that is definitely something a coon adjacent
okay, just stop,
person
just
would say.
stop, just stop, stop. Let it go. I think we got our run out of that. Let's let it go. But
Oh, that is absolutely being added to the lexicon, my good man.
oh Lord.
You are going to be sick of it.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time on the show. But
That's true.
But yeah, but what also stood out to me too is obviously these five people are superstars, legends from the rap, hip hop, R&B, and whatnot like that. So it had me thinking, when was the last time we actually had even the main performer of the Super Bowl show be somebody from one of those genres? And really, you have to go back to, I mean, maybe 2013 with Beyonce and Destiny's Child, maybe. But for sure, before that, 2007 with Prince or 2004 with Janet. So it's been a while, and it doesn't happen very often that we actually get somebody from those three genres being the main performer at the Super Bowl. Um, I mean, they really only started having mega superstars do the Super Bowl in 1993 whenever Michael Jackson did it for the first time. I mean,
Okay, who did it before that?
well, so not knocking Gloria Estefan. Of course, she's a big superstar as well. Before that, uh, New Kids on 91.
Man, you
Before
gonna have all them teeny boppers go on iTunes and give us bad reviews. You better put some respect on New Kid's name, man. Come on.
Okay, they're not of the level of Michael Jackson, nowhere close. I'll say that to any New Kid on the Block fan. I'll walk into Wahlburgers in Boston and stand on the bar and say, New Kids on the Block are not on that level.
You gonna
Okay.
park your car at the bar and say that's how you feel?
Hey, I may be making a trip to Boston next year anyway, so just throwing it out there. If I gotta
Well,
say, I'll say it. But no, even
well,
before that, it was always just like an ensemble of like bands and I would say bands, I mean like marching bands, rockettes, stuff like that. But like I said, again, as far as the mega superstars like this doing the show, it didn't really start till '93 with Michael Jackson. Um, other between then and now, I've mentioned a few. It's always been country stars, pop stars, some rock individuals, things like that, rock bands, stuff like that. They just, for whatever reason, and I would guess why, they just steered away from the main performer being from one of these genres. I don't know if Janet Jackson have the wardrobe malfunction might have hurt that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's been very sparse between there. I mean, obviously, you have the Black Eyed Peas. But again, I won't put them in hip hop or R&B or not like that. Now, there's also been side performers from those genres be a part of it. Again, I mentioned the Black Eyed Peas in 2011. Usher was part of that, so there's that. But again, just the main performers have been from other genres other than those three. So glad to see it happen. I was excited and hyped up and shocked. Glad to see my boy Eminem in there. I actually, depending on who's in the game, I actually be more excited about that than the actual game. So or the commercials. So what about
yeah,
you?
man.
What do you think?
I would, I like all of these artists, so I I look at the NFL halftime show the same way I look at the NBA slam dunk contest. There's two groups of people: people who are actually looking forward to that shit, and people looking forward to that shit to actually hate on it.
I'm part of the second group.
Yeah, and yeah, shout out to the haters ball over here.
Now,
Play hater of the year.
just to clarify, I'm not hating on it. I'm one of those people that feel like it just needs to go away because there's so many dunks you can do that haven't been done before. It
Yeah,
just
except you
yeah
can't dunk, so maybe
yeah
you stay out of it.
exactly. I'm not trying to be in it. So, but I'm watching it. Well, I see highlights of the dunks, and it's like, okay, I've seen that
Oh,
before.
you watching it. You hate watching
No,
it.
no,
Yes, you are.
I really don't because it comes on Saturday nights, and I'm not sitting around on Saturday nights watching this stuff. I mean, I did last year, obviously, because it's pandemic.
Look
But
at you blaming COVID for why you watch the slam dunk contest.
well, I'm sorry, I actually do stuff out on my Saturday nights usually, so that's why I watched it. Now I don't recall watching the slam dunk contest, but yes, I certainly watched the skills challenge, 3-point contest. 'Cause I love 3-point contest because it's the best event there, even better than the All Star game itself.
Yeah,
Um,
come on.
Sabonis, not Arvidas, excuse me. Demontis Sabonis was in the skills challenge, so I was watching that for him. Won it, of course. So but the dunk contest just never has been interesting to me. So I would probably actually watch the I would
Yeah.
actually watch the concert at the event than the dunk contest. But again, the halftime show this year has a lot more excitement for me at least, and I actually again, given the Bears probably aren't going to be in it, I'll probably be more interested in watching the halftime show than the game.
So if we just get a chance saying, "Cause I'm black, y'all," "Cause I'm black, y'all,"
Again,
in the middle of the halftime show, will that be okay?
if I said that or you,
Anyone.
I mean, if they are, then yeah, go ahead and say it.
I mean, you do know that's from CB4, right?
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I did not know that. I didn't recall that. No,
And that's why you'll never be the host.
because I haven't seen the movie from 20 years. Excuse me, 30 years ago.
I mean, this is worse than you not going to the house of swap meet. It's okay. I still love you.
How is that worse? How is first of all, how is any of them bad? Number one, but how is watching or not watching CB4 worse than going to the Alsop swap meet?
I'm just giving you a hard time, dude. It's
I've
all
actually,
good.
to be honest with you, I actually heard of CB4 more so than I did the Alsop swap meet. So
Well, that's good.
just for how bad it was, the CB4, I mean, not the swap. Well, swap meets I'm sure is
How
bad
bad?
too,
How
but
bad the movie was? Okay.
yeah, I'm sure the swap meet is just as bad, but still,
Yeah. I mean, that's a matter of interpretation, but
it's a swap meet.
yeah. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I might put on some Kendrick tomorrow. I might put on some Dre. Eminem is also one of my favorite entertainers. So
Stop
you
trying to
know
be
how
like me.
I mean, but I aspire to be like you.
So I'm like the Barack Obama to you.
Oh my god, that is like joke inception right there. No, I think I look forward to first off, I think it would be a really, really good um halftime show. Like, I'm glad to see that someone like Janet Jackson has effectively no longer been released from double secret probation. You dig?
Yeah. Now you do realize it's not Janet Jackson in the show this year, right?
I do realize that.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, but I think when Dr. Dre is saying, "Hey, culturally, it's a big deal," I agree because what was typically happening with the with the with the Super Bowl halftime show, they would try and see if they could get someone that was like, "Hey, you're from this area. You're a big deal. This is where you came from." And so the fact that you have three of those natives in Dr. Dre, Snoop, and Lamar Kendrick, the fact that they have history with that area, that's a big deal.
I'm gonna call some BS on that a little bit because a little bit because go back to 2019 when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta. That was a perfect opportunity for them to do something like this. Atlanta, home of rap. It's a black town, but yet, Maroon
What makes it a black town? I'm curious to you. I'm not even disagreeing it. I want to hear you say it.
because of the high percentage of black people that live there. The culturally, it's there. Lots of black people that I know want to move there because of that. Black people grow there, you know, because other cities in this country that have a large percentage of black people, they're not thriving there like they are. A lot of people are in Atlanta. Now, obviously, now everyone's thriving there. I get that, but still, black businesses, a lot of it are there. So, um,
There's a lot of black businesses elsewhere.
but
I'm
Atlanta hits
just saying that.
Atlanta hits different though, bro. Atlanta hits different.
Okay, okay. I mean, there's literally a show called Atlanta. Did you ever check that out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a big Donald Glover fan, so I'm a big fan of Atlanta.
But my point was in 2019, that was a big chance to do something like this that they're doing for this upcoming year, but they didn't. Instead, no offense to Maroon 5, they chose to have Maroon 5 there be the main performer. Now, of course, they placated us by throwing in Big Boy and Travis Scott. So that's a little bit of placation there. But yeah, that was a big chance to do that, what you just said. In Atlanta, the year before, you had Justin Timberlake do it in Nashville when it was in Tennessee, who's from Tennessee. Perfect. Made sense. And then obviously the year after 2020, I believe it was in Miami, they had Jennifer Lopez. So yeah, I definitely get it. Yeah, it's in Southern California, which is Dre, Snoop are from there, and you say Kendrick's from there as well. So I get it, but I'm gonna call a little bit of BS on that. Um, I will say some of the performers they've had before that seem like they might have been trending towards going back to this direction when it comes to not necessarily just having people from rap and hip hop and stuff like that, but just getting those artists that are kind of musically like that, or even some more risque and controversial. They had Lady Gaga in 2017. I said Timberlake in 2018. Even though he's not rapping R&B, he's kind of has that same style. Maroon 5, again, they're not like that, but they had Big Boy Travis Scott, J Lo and Shakira. Again, kind of more that direction. And then finally, they're caving in and having actual hip hop, rap, and superstars there. So
Yeah, I don't want to say they caved in. I just
they did.
think I think a lot of this is also a byproduct of the fact that with Jay Z getting involved now, it's you know when you give someone some time to actually work on cultivating these relationships, these recommendations, it will drive who is actually available and who's an option to be on the fucking halftime show. You dig? So I don't think it was all placation and holleration in this dancery. Shout out to Mary J. Blige, but but yeah, I know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Very nice, sir. But yeah,
Yep.
leave it to Jay Z, the street savior and the savior of the Super Bowl halftime show. So
Yeah, Jay Z was taking a little bit of street cred hit because they were saying that he wasn't staunchly defiant enough on the Black Lives Matter, George Floyd movement. Um, you know, I I find that especially when you're black and successful, that speaking of being coon adjacent, that there's always this weird uh how can I put this barometer for blackness, right? Like people come up with all weird ways to say that you're not black enough. And that's fucking bullshit. Like just because someone handles a situation a certain way differently than you would prefer they would handle it doesn't mean that they're a betrayer of their culture. And that is definitely a segment for another day.
this is true. This is true because I'm sure you and I both have been in that position where our blackness has been questioned, not just from black people. I'll say that there, not just from black people, but yeah. But I mentioned to you before that I wanted to bring something up, and I thought about it when I was thinking about it and saw Kendrick Lamar and Eminem specifically, um, on the halftime show. So I don't know if you recall this, but I don't remember the exact year or anything, but it's been quite a few years ago. I definitely wasn't living in Indianapolis. I was likely living in Southern Illinois, maybe Central Illinois. But you and I were having a conversation about music, of course, because we never do that before. But
Never.
so we're talking about music and specifically talking about rap. And I was at the time saying that the rap artists of that time frame were all trash and garbage. They didn't compare to like the Jay Z's, the Nas's, or the Eminems, whatnot like that. And at that time, you had mentioned Kendrick Lamar, that he was the big deal, he was the truth, all stuff like that, and he was really good, whatnot. And I told you that I've heard of his name before, but I hadn't heard any of his music. And I guess you felt some type of way about that. So the conversation ended, not necessarily ended badly or whatnot, but the conversation ended. Then I went back home. I might have been, we might have had this conversation when I was in town visiting you somewhere or whatnot. But anyway, so went back home. Some days later, a number of days later, I got a package from you in the mail. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh, jeez.
So I opened it up, and I've been guessing what it was before I even open it. Like you do any present, you guess what it is. And I was wrong, of course. So I opened it up, and it just so happened to be a CD. Yes, and this was not long ago. There was a CD, folks. But it happened to be a CD, a Kendrick Lamar CD. I'm like, I had to get a pretty good laugh because I'm like, okay, the timing of this is pretty good. But that was Terrence's way of trying to get me to actually listen to Kendrick Lamar and realize that he actually is pretty good. But speaking of that, I still have that CD that you sent me,
Jason,
and
are you kidding me?
yes, it is still not opened, by the way. But I do have that CD that you sent me. So yeah, I still have it. It's still in good tact. I actually at this point don't want to open it because I feel like it's still nostalgia. Because again, folks, for those of you who are our younger listeners who don't know what this is called a CD. You can put this in a CD player and it plays music. So
What does
FYI,
CD actually stand for, by the way?
I believe compatible disc or something like that. I don't think that's right. See, I don't even remember, man. It's been so long.
Compatible disc. What the fuck are you, Roger and Zap?
I said compactable, moron. Or compact disc. There you go. There you go. Compact disc. That's it. So yeah. And just to clarify, I said disc, DISC, FYI. But yeah, it had me thinking about that. I actually knew exactly what this was. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this up on the show tonight. So
I
yeah, bro.
cannot believe you
Yeah,
have that still, dude.
yeah.
That is insane.
Unopened, still in the wrapper, bro. Still in the wrapper.
Good Kid, Mad City. I was willing to prove a point, man. I was like, man, I'm gonna send you this shit just on general principle.
And
That's
you did.
that's how strongly I feel about this at this point. Because you were probably talking some shit about, man, ain't no good music no more. And I'm like, bro, Good Kid, Mad City just fucking came out. What the fuck are you talking about?
And admittedly, I wasn't down to listen to it. I wasn't really feeling it. Again, I believed you when he was that good because I heard his name before. But yeah, getting that in the mail, I got a good laugh out of it. Obviously, I never opened it to listen to it, so I still haven't.
Yes. So it was literally a petty off, is what it was.
But again, I still have it, so I didn't throw it away. I still have it in a safe place, just like nostalgia. But I do recognize that Kendrick Lamar is pretty good. He has some songs I like, of course. Um, he's better than a certain other individual I won't name. Um, but yeah, I just want to break that out for the show tonight to let people know that this is something that took me back a little bit to years ago when Terrence used to talk about music before it was on the podcast. So yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh man, that is priceless, Jason. That is amazing. Thank you for that blast from the past of Terrence and Jason arguments of yore. So that concludes segment 3 of the Petty Archives and the Super Bowl halftime show of 2022. Coming up next, we're going to wrap up the show with our thoughts and closing thoughts on episode 25 on Cal Park Bros.